Hello, and welcome back to Ask the Color Expert podcast. Today's special guests are the dynamic duo of Mary and Phillip Wilson. I have had the pleasure of being friends with them for many, many years. I met Mary, it was right before my 40th birthday. I attended her amazing retreat, Destination Rejuvenation, in gorgeous Laguna Beach, California. And I've since gotten to meet Phillip and had so many wonderful collaborations with the two of them over the last few years during our lockdown. And I am so blessed and grateful to have them here as guests on the podcast. So welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. It's very early for you.
It is, and it's
Good morning.
Friday before a holiday weekend. So
exactly. So I'm even more grateful, right?
Yeah. We're in a heat wave, so
California.
you might hear the air conditioning going.
Listen, I don't feel sorry for either one of you because number one, I live in Florida and you sent all your mosquitoes to me. I've never gotten a mosquito bite in California ever.
We never had mosquitoes in California.
I am a pin cushion.
It's
absolute pin cushion.
Florida, right?
Yeah. But we have just, we're just so happy to be hanging with you this morning. What a great way to end the week. Mary and I have just returned from 6 weeks through the Midwest and did Dallas, and it just seems everywhere. And in the 6 weeks, as we have been going with Wilson Collective and our RV Wrapped, which seems to be becoming cool because others are now starting to do it. So I guess we set a bit of a trend.
You did. I have such FOMO when I see that wrapped van. So yeah. I left out the best part. So Mary and Phillip have created Wilson Collective, amazing hair products. And they're going to tell you how their products are different, but I left that part out. And what I love about them is they are both so passionate about education that they are risking their amazing marriage to be in a tiny vessel traveling the country. I don't think I would still be married. But going into salons and boots on the ground education. And I cannot give you enough kudos for that, because that in my opinion is what has been missing in the last decade in the salon industry. It's, for especially the middle of the country. Like you said, you were in the Midwest. It's like, there's shows in New York, there's shows in California, there's, on both sides of the country, but what about all the people in the middle? And some of them, can't take time off and get on an airplane and go to a traditional show. And I can vouch for the both of you that what they're getting from you in that class is so much more than any stage presentation at a hair show, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think you're right, Elaine, especially through the times of COVID, like there was this forced need to do everything online, which helped us all learn how to interact in that way. So I think it was really great for that reason. And now that we can be back out there, we started the tour in March. So this time what we did is we were out for a month, we'd fly home for a month, we go out for a month, and we come back for a month. So we did learn how much time we could sustain life on the road and not go completely crazy. And so what we see is that, and it's important to understand, and we recognize that stylists are very busy. So those that are still working behind the chair post-COVID are very busy, which is great for them. And so to kind of step out of that for a minute and come and see something different, something new, we understand and we see from the audience that comes how inspired they are and how they then feel that sense of community, the ability to really talk to each other in new ways that maybe they wouldn't have done prior to COVID. And that was really fun and great to see. So when we're out, we're introducing Wilson Collective and we're sharing the Wilson method of hair cutting, which Phillip created over 30 years ago using twin combs and twin brushes to compress the hair, to move the hair, to kind of create a step back away from the design and see how it's moving. Style that we are also now seeing lots of people doing online, larger sections, more compression, because if there's anything that we need right now as an industry is we need things that we can do that are going to make our work faster, right? So one of the ways to make more money is to have those tips to work faster. So we really saw opportunities there in teaching and sharing that. And then what we do on those alternate months when we're back home is we have a deep dive into the Wilson method with a workshop. So if someone purchased, we sell amazing scissors when we're traveling and on our website. And so when we are then back, we do the introduction to the Wilson method, which is more of a deep dive into the cutting technique. And then they have the opportunity to really try it on a mannequin, because sometimes it's scary to try new things on a live model.
And we got sort of hitchhiking onto that, Elaine, when you said about the Wilson Collective line. When we created this, it was sort of hairdresser to hairdresser, not a big corporation going, well, there's 16 shampoos, 25 hairsprays, push it, what's in it, what's it do? Doesn't matter, just move it. That's the world we came from. When we worked for the big companies in New York, traveling all over the planet, it was like, you think at a period of time where you're like, okay, we've got to get back down to sort of ground level. And so with the 3 systems we created, which is Be Strong, Calm Down, and our new one about to be launched, which is Volume Up. It's a small boutique cool line that anyone can participate in, that can afford.
Right.
And that's,
There we go.
I think I'm a better Vanna White than you.
Well,
Maybe not, maybe not.
So
I'm sort of Pat, you're Vanna, I don't know which order. And when we designed this, it was ironic that the response from people that are in suites and booth renting and salons were, wow, we could afford this. It's all essential oil based. There's no manufactured fragrances. It's an incredible line that's very focused, and it sits within the Wilson method, within our cutting system, because it starts the journey of styling when you've got Don't Stress It, which I cut with. Then our journey into the styling, it's there. It's phenomenal. It works. And it's the most amazing journey that Mary and I have ever been on. But as Mary said, with the cutting system, with the Wilson method, it is compressed, it is fast, it has tremendous precision. And we just want to introduce this to one and all. When people say, oh, the new generation, no, across the spectrum, it's for all the generations, because they're looking for speed, they're looking for accuracy, so they can upsell. Upsell meaning, again, getting into coloring, and as you're very well known for, that's a money maker. Upsell means they're generating revenue, and it becomes a very happy combination. And that's what we've been doing for, well, since COVID. We're back out there, we're doing it, we're going to continue doing it. As Mary said earlier on, we're associating ourselves with cool boutique distributors. And that's where we're going to be at.
I love that, because as a salon owner, a new line comes, the salesperson comes in and shows you a new line, and then you're like, oh, cool. Let me smell it. Let me touch it. Let me try it on a client. And then you inquire about it. And it's like, for $5,000, you get this intro. And I'm like, I don't even know if I like this product. I don't want $5,000 of anything that you have to sell me.
No,
And it's just too much. And now, like you said, with the trend being more solo or smaller boutique salons, it's, you don't want to take on that type of inventory and have that, stress of selling through. I will say, as a color specialist, I have not cut hair officially for about 20 years. And you guys were so amazing to be part of Revival during COVID. I had you guys working really hard on lots of collaborations. And I took the combs and brushes class. And I remember thinking, first of all, it's been 18 years. So I felt like I was right out of beauty school as far as the cutting. But the cut that you did, I remember coming out of a 5-day Vidal Sassoon workshop. And it took me like an hour and a half to do a precision bob. And then with your combs and brushes, I was like, this is the fastest I've ever done such an amazing haircut. It was unreal. Like, I can't even explain the difference.
Yeah.
So simple, but so
effective.
Wash and wear. Like,
Yeah.
I am a terrible stylist.
Yeah.
If I blow dry your hair, you want to go home and dry it again. Like, it's bad.
Elaine, that is so
To the
funny.
point, I just did a model. She's a friend of mine, actually. And I saw her walking down the street, And she was like, Elaine. And I said, oh my gosh, I didn't even recognize you. Someone did a really, really bad job on her color. She's a gorgeous brunette. She looks like the nerdy one on Sex and the City. What's her name? Kristen something.
Oh yeah, Kristen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks just like her. So she looks beautiful with shiny, beautiful brunette hair. And someone attempted, God knows what, and gave her orange highlights. And the next day she was going to a branding photo shoot. And I was like, I said, listen, she goes, I know you're not behind the chair. And I know, you're not in a salon. I don't want to bother you. I said, I feel like a doctor that's on an airplane where someone's having a heart attack and they're like, is there a doctor here? Can anybody help? And I'm like, and I have my stethoscope and I'm like, nope, no doctor here. Like, I don't want to be bothered, tucking it in my shirt. I'm like, I cannot look at you and not fix that hair. Like, it can't happen. But she came to get her hair fixed. I fixed it in 20 minutes. I was so proud of myself. But I was like, shit, I don't have anybody. Like, when I work in a salon, someone else does my blowouts because I'm that bad. So when I posted it in my group, the first, they weren't even interested in what I did with the color. They were like, did you blow her out? Like, you really did that? Because I'm always saying how bad I am. But with your products, I've been blessed to try your products. Again, I'm not in a salon, but I'm able to use them on my own hair and the smell, and I've experienced them. And I'm like, it's a product line that is the non-hairstylist friendly. It's something I can feel proud to send home with my client and not think, oh, you need my hands and my technique to make this work. I can't tell you the hundreds of bottles of products that sit dusting, dust balls in my cabinet because I'm like the regular client when it comes to styling. I overuse products. I don't use the right thing at the right moment. I don't use the right brush for the right thing. You'd think I never went to beauty school, but I was so all in blinders on hair color that I never really cared to get better at styling. So I've seen, Phillip, the best thing ever was in Revival with taking one doll head and taking it through every iteration in a 1-hour class. Like, there's proof right there. Like, I couldn't get through one doll head in an hour to do anything. So, you guys were live. You have the pressure of live being on camera and the tech, and Mary's in the background trying to make sure all the angles are right. Like, it was a lot. And that was some of the best education I've ever seen, let alone be privy to be involved with. Like, it was amazing. Like, your level of commitment to the industry, your passion and your talent is bar none, in my opinion. Are you blushing, Phillip?
Are you blushing?
Maybe.
She's like,
you haven't done this
No,
yet.
I
What's
tell you-
wrong? You're not yourself. You haven't.
I tell you why
Yeah.
when you say that, it's which I thank you so much for saying that, but it's like when I watch people work today, I love it because it's, as I said earlier on, it's something that I can learn from anybody. So I'm always looking. What can I do next? What can we try next? And the social media world came in with YouTube and Instagram and so on. And I study and I watch that and I think, great. But in my other part of my brain says, well, if you were to compress that in one section instead of 5, that's 5 times less you're spending on that section. Then incorporate the other one and travel that guideline around. You get a beautiful haircut. And then when people say, oh, you do the bob, and I go, no, I do hair. I don't do a bob. But remember one thing, that bob can go anywhere. It can do anything. You could make a bob look 50 times different than the person you previously did. So with the Wilson method, in conjunction with Wilson Collective, we know we have the jewel. Now it's continuing on our journey.
And now that we're home this month, Phillip has been working on some new haircuts too. So,
Yes.
and we are
Yes.
planning, Elaine, to share those with your mentor group as well. So those will be.
Oh, I didn't even get into that. Like, that's another whole
We're part of
amazing
that
thing.
too, and we're honored
So
to be
much,
part of that.
so much. I've been torturing you guys for 2 years. So
we haven't
I-
contributed enough there, so we want to do more there.
no, you're
As Mary
amazing.
said,
You're
I've been
amazing.
working on these cuts,
Mhm.
and the thing that I would always express to any artist, and irrespective of the time they've been doing it, be prepared for mistakes. It's okay.
Mhm.
I make so many mistakes. Sometimes a mannequin will leave my little arena where I've been practicing, and I look at it and I go, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. But then I think, but wait a minute,
Time to grab a new
yeah, I
manager.
know where I went wrong. So constantly,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if you've been doing it for 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 50 years. Not that I have.
But I love that you don't sit on what you have had amazing training. You have the structure of, precision, Vita Sassoon, all of the things from foundational haircutting that are amazing, but you're not like, okay, I'm so good. I know it. I don't have to try anything else.
No.
Like that's where I think you die on the vine when you stop
Mhm.
actually trying to innovate new things
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
create things.
Yeah. And also, like you said, when you don't practice, like you're not going to get great at something if you don't practice.
Right.
But blow drying, cutting, whatever that is. And of course, we all know that we went through a couple of years where students were in school and didn't get to interact with clients.
Yeah.
So that importance of kind of cutting themselves some slack to say, okay, I'm still learning. I'm always learning. If there's any lesson that we've seen as we've been interacting with people, is to be humble and be gracious and
Just be nice.
take it all in and be patient, be patient in when you're training someone that's new, and that everybody just has to keep growing and learning. Yeah. That you don't isolate and shut down and think, okay, this is it. This is what I do now. And because the industry is always evolving and changing.
And don't, in all honesty, when people say, oh, this person's so much more than I am, they're much better, they're training in everything. Just be you. Just continue to evolve a better you. You don't need to be like anyone else. I am me. I just try to be a better me. When people say, well, you used to do Sassoon's precision, now you're more French, Italian, free form when you design with the Wilson method. I say, yeah, because I want to keep growing. I don't want to stabilize something and say, that's it. I've reached a peak to where that's where I will now live. I can't do that. It always evolve. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
I love that. And that's where the Hairstylist Ultimate Mentorship was a passion project for me. I kept talking to you, the two of you and other people over COVID. And I'm like, there has never been more of a time that education needs to be available to people who don't think that they can either afford it or be aware of it. It has to be that we keep giving back to people who are just getting started. And I love that Mary said that the humble piece, because in the mentorship, it's so interesting. It started as, I want to provide for people these amazing mentors that are in my world that I collaborate with, that show the younger generation, the new people coming out of school, you don't have to, be a towel slave for 5 years to learn behind the chair. There's another way to get that strong mentorship that's missing now. But it's so interesting because, if we did a poll right now of who's there's almost 1,000 people in the mentorship. And I would say 700 of those 1,000 have been in the industry 15 years or more. Yes. And kudos to them for joining and not saying like, mentorship. I don't need a mentorship. I know everything. And when I see their comments, when all the contributors, do an amazing video and I see all the comments and they're like, wow, mind blown. I've been doing this for 15 years and never knew that. There's always things to learn. There's always another level. And just being inspired and, getting inspiration from other places. And like Phillip said, like the girl that I did that my members were so impressed that I blew out. I took a step back from her hair and I said, I keep doing these 4-hour color rescues where like there's so much going on that it takes 4 hours. I'm exhausted. The client's exhausted. When I ask them to come in, I say, pack a lunch, bring a water bottle, tell your family you're not coming home. And they go, ha ha ha. And I go, no, I'm not being funny. Like, you're going to be hungry. You're going to be thirsty. You're going to have your kids blowing up your phone. Like you're going to be here for 4 to 5 hours, especially if I'm blowing it out. Right. But this last one, I took a step back and I said, what's working on this head? Like sometimes you look at it, you're like, nothing's working. I need to make everything go away, but really not so much. Like if you step back, I was like, Okay, the back of her head, she only has 25% gray. The front of her head, she has 75% gray. So, and she wants highlights. So the steps that most people take, it drags everything out. It's like everybody takes it all separate 3 things. And to Philip's point about, pulling hair from here to here and taking it in one section,
Yeah.
I did 3 different things on her hair. I was done in an hour and a half. It would have taken 4 hours.
You did them
But
at the same time.
I did them at the same time, but so
Right.
different than I've ever done it. In 35 years, I've never done it this way. And I was like, well, where has this been my whole life? Because
Exactly.
I have time now.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm educating. I'm not behind the chair on the damn clock. Like
Exactly.
sometimes our clients pressure us so much to be quick, that if you are Vidal Sassoon trained, like when I came back from Vidal Sassoon, I was like, I got to change my whole book because I need 2 hours per client to do this
Right.
precision and hold my arm a certain way. I was just like so aware of like
Yeah.
how structured it was.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
is
was
true.
wonderful to get that discipline. But then, like Philip said, I couldn't stay there forever. Like it wasn't who I was as a cutter. Like I was like, this is way too much structure. I am like, I
Right.
feel like I'm back in Catholic school, so I kind of evolved it into a more free form combination of like what I would learn from Philip
Yeah.
and Vidal Sassoon, where like you bring everything together.
Yeah.
But I love that you're bringing a whole new thing that I hope that beauty schools have you coming in, because how amazing for
Yeah,
them to
we're
learn that
actually-
from the
Yeah.
beginning.
We had some space open up this fall as we make our way. So the RV has been in the Midwest the whole summer. And so as we are making our way back to the West Coast, we're going to be at Boise Barber College in Boise, Idaho. We're going to be at the Taylor Andrews School in Salt Lake. So we
Awesome.
just yesterday started working on that, because students just go crazy when they see it. And to your point, one of the things that we always say is that you have to understand precision haircutting. You have to understand the shape of the head and natural fall. And once you understand that, you can do anything. So as you said, more free form, because not everyone blow dries their hair perfectly the way you did when they leave the salon. And so we work more with the natural movement of the hair than what you would see in your traditional tiny sections and incredible amount of tension on the hair. So
We just, and a way to put it even more simplistic is we teach them how to create a frame and a canvas. Once that's there, let them paint according to their own
I love
creativity.
that. I love that.
texture, movement,
Don't-
right?
And I would tell you one thing that I've been through it is 50 years that I've been doing this. And in 50 years, I've remembered one important thing that my 2 mentors told me. As a boy of 16 plus in Paris, when I was a floor cleaner, toilet cleaner in Alexandria of Paris, because that's the only level I could get to at that time. I always remember him saying, as Vidal said, when I have many one-on-one times with him, the day you think you know it all is the day you must leave this industry.
Amen.
Yeah. That's good.
100%. So in your travels in your RV across the country, if someone's listening to this podcast and they're like, I want to know about these combs and brushes and I want to know about these products, what do they do? Do they just have to reach out to you to get a class on the books? How does that all work?
So the best thing to do is to go to, well, 2 things. They can join our Facebook group, which, as you know, is very active. So we do Tuesday tips, Wilson Wisdom Wednesdays. We share what's happening, what's going on. And that is Wilson Collective Pros Only page, right? So that's in the groups. Of course, we're on Instagram and we're very active there as well. And that's at Wilson Hair Collective. And then that is also the name of our website. So wilsonhaircollective.com. Much of the country, we are still selling as a direct company. So that means that you go onto that website and you complete the salon, join the collective. The button is everywhere under sign up as a pro. And then all we do is validate that you are truly a salon. And then we'll communicate with you about learning more about the brand, as well as what's happening with education. So all of our education dates are on there too. We, at this point, as we said, we will be back out in the RV. So keeping up with where we're at on that tour is great in either of those places. we are launching our new volume system. We realize that lots of people have fine hair. Elaine will definitely send you some because I know you have fine hair. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but a large part of the American population has fine hair and is desperate to care for that fine hair in the best way possible. So I actually used our volume shampoo and conditioner yesterday. So, okay, you have fine hair. You definitely have fine hair. So this is a volume shampoo and conditioner, a little blow dry yesterday, a little curl today. So what we did with volume is it's not even, we don't even have it here. We just have the box, but we use essential oils, as Phillip said, for fragrancing. So it's rosemary and grapefruit. So really great for both of those are great essential oils that are currently being used to help restore hair growth, which is amazing. So it's the fragrance and hair growth. And then we have bamboo and sugarcane as the ingredients for plumping up the hair. So we have shampoo, conditioner, and also a volume foam. And the foam is this rich,
it's amazing,
incredible. You put it right on the scalp, blow dry into the hair, and it's really, so we're super excited about that.
Elaine could get good volume.
She could, yeah.
In her blow dry.
I will not go to my grave without being shagged by Phillip Wilson. So I'm just saying. He's the only one. He's the only one that I would get a shag for. And your shag, I'm still dreaming about from Revival.
Keep letting it grow.
If you, we've said this before, but
She does know.
Yeah, and in my country, it's best you just say coupe sauvage.
Oh no, I mean it both ways, 100%. And someone called me out on it last time I said that. It was in one of our lives on Facebook. They were like, "Oh, love," it was someone from the UK. "Love, you don't mean that." I said, "No, I do. I do. I
If
know
anything
exactly what I was
Mary,
saying."
I totally mean that.
Mary can't beat me up through the screen.
I can't.
It gets to me.
So true. Yeah. And then also this fall and through holiday, we also did some really cool little
I could use those. Yes.
Great way to get started. Yeah, maybe we could do some gifting at your upcoming retreat. Maybe. Well, yeah, we can talk. So we have the Try Me and Fly with Me, Be Strong, Calm Down. So we have 3 systems, and then we'll also have our owl fell over. And then we'll also have the same thing with our new volume up that's coming up. So we've got ways to try, ways to sample. We know that it's important if you're considering working with the line that you're able to have it and try it first. So we have a couple of really cool ways for salons to sample before they try. We're also going to do our I Am a Great Presenter again, probably January, February. I have a call. We have a call with Ann Mincy Jaton after we finish up with you today to kind of talk about dates, so that we will continue one more year. I would say one more year via Zoom, and then perhaps that following in person again. So when we first started I Am a Great Presenter, we actually did it as an in-person experience. And it's, of course, dynamic to get up in front of people and practice what you learn. Right. Elaine, I know you've taken that course as well. And so I know you can vouch for, it's so much more about communication than it is I want to be on a stage. It's every day as you communicate with your clients, as you communicate with your significant other. We talk about how to structure an experience of a presentation, and we also talk about the importance of the language that we use and how we do that. So we'll be publishing those dates soon. And then next May, as you know, Elaine, we will be part of the beauty industry cruise going out of Miami on Virgin Cruise Lines, which we're super excited about. They keep announcing more educators every day. So David Kinningston, Donna Roggio, Francesca Rivetti, Taylor Jameson just announced today, Albie. So it's going to be a party. It's going to be educational, it's going to be business, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So we're excited about that too. It'll be the first time we're coming into Florida as well. So we haven't.
I know, but you came into Florida for the cruise, but not for Elaine.
I know.
Sorry.
Maybe
one of these days.
Well, do you want to share the other breaking news?
Okay, it must have broken because I don't know what you're talking about. What are the breaking in?
We are seriously considering moving to the Midwest in the spring and maybe spending our
Ah,
winters in warmer places such as
that would be awesome. I would love to see you guys
maybe
come
we
this
would
Yeah.
see more. Yeah. Winter 2024. Here we come.
Okay. Okay. Keep me posted.
Okay.
Well, as always, it's such a pleasure to have both of you. And if you're listening, be sure to reach out to Phillip and Mary, try the products, check out their schedule, jump in on one of those fabulous classes. If you can't make it to an in-person one, catch a virtual one. There are two amazing people that our industry is so blessed to have, and I'm blessed to call them my friends. So
We
thank
feel the
you for
same
spending
way.
your time with me.
We feel the same way
Same
about
way
you,
with
Elaine.
you, darling.
Continued
Thank you.
success in all that you do. We are excited to promote the retreat. Everyone, if you can get there and hang out with Elaine, it looks, I saw the email yesterday. It looks like a wonderful restoring both business and personal
Yes.
experience. So very cool.
And although you say to everybody you bring on how much you appreciate them and thank them, we should all give back to you to say thanks to you for being so positive and cool in our industry. We really
Oh, thank
appreciate it.
you. My turn to blush. Thank you.
Are you blushing, Elaine?
Thank you, guys. We will see you all on the next one. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Elaine.
Bye, darling.